after taking like 30 minutes of fresh air, I could make this video. The Dodgers lose 2-0. I mean, not 2-0. Excuse me. They go down 2-0. They lose 4-2 tonight at Dodger Stadium. And Game 3 is on Wednesday. First off, I have no idea who the Diamondbacks are pitching on Wednesday. But I think they're probably not going with Zach Gallen and Kelly, which is a good sign for the Dodgers. But I don't know who it's going to be for them. But I know Lance Lynn is going to pitch Game 3 for the Dodgers. Before I talk into tonight's game, I already want to talk about Game 3 a little bit. And just one thing I know about Lance Lynn. He gave up the most home runs in the regular season. That Arizona Dbacks crowd is going to be electric. And the Dodgers need to shut them down quickly. That crowd. The Dodgers need to score like 6 or 5 runs or 4 runs or 3 runs in Game 3 in the top of the first to shut that crowd down. And Lance Lynn needs to pitch his ass off if we're going to win that game. Let's talk about tonight's. Because after tonight's game, wishing for 6 to 4 runs to 5 runs or even 2 in Arizona is a handful of wishes. Tonight, Dodgers fall 4-2, down 2-0, and it was another disappointing game. And, you know, as fans, you know, as any fan base, like, probably the Phoenix Suns, probably we're not too happy this season with the L, with them not making the finals. Like, no matter what fan base you cheer for, in the postseason, when your team loses, it hurts. And it hurts miserably. There's no if, whats, or buts. I don't care if you're 70 years old. I don't care if you're 10. I don't care if you're 21. I don't care if you're 30 fucking 8. When your team loses in the postseason, it hurts. Especially when you watch 162 games a year. And I'm one of those diehard baseball fans who do for the Dodgers, and every October, it seems that 162 was just a waste. But anyway, Dodgers lose 4-2. Bobby Miller only gets 5 outs. Dodgers starting pitching in this series has only gotten 6 outs in total. That is absolutely insane and absolute trash. If you would have told me that on Friday night before Game 1, I would have been like, oh yeah, they're gonna get more than that. But they haven't. Dodgers starting staff has not been good. Bobby Miller tonight did not exceed expectations. He pitched worse than I truly thought what could have happened. You know, I was thinking maybe 2 runs at least for Miller. Instead, he gives up 3, gets 5 outs, and Dave Roberts goes to the bullpen. Where I want to give kudos to Brusdar Graterol, Joe Kelly, Ryan Brazier, even though he gave up that solo shot to Gurriel. Just good shit. You know, they had to grind for every out, but, you know, coming out of the bullpen, having to work 2 innings, that's not ideal. And they did amazing. They truly did. And the Dodger fans are giving those boys their credits when they were walking off the field, cheering very loud, because I know Dodger Stadium and Dodger fans know this could be it. This could be the last game at home unless the Dodgers somehow find a way to take this series to Game 5 and win it at Dodger Stadium. But that's very unlikely. But anyway, offense as well tonight goes like 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. J.D. Martinez played his ass off. The home run, single, another drew a walk. But the Dodgers just could not bring in the runs when it mattered. They had runners at second and first a few times, third and first a few times, and one of those at-bats that I want to talk about exclusively is Freddie Freeman. Freddie had runners at the corners, and he looks at a pitch. It's not a fastball down the middle, but it's a curveball. I am not a professional hitter. I am not a professional athlete. I am not a professional baseball player. I am a guy who works in fucking 8 to 5 job and just making these YouTube videos to make them. And this dude looks at a 3-2 curve right down the pipe. And I just don't understand why you don't swing. Obviously he's expecting the heater. Like, if you know baseball and if you look at a curve right down the pipe, you're probably expecting a fastball. And Zach Gallen went with the curve, and it was a great pitch, but it was right down the middle, and Freddie just looked at it. And that pitch right there was kind of the one pitch that I was like, damn, like, that could have changed the game if he gaps it or hits it into the stands. And then later on, you got the bases loaded, and the Dodgers only bring in 1 run with 1 out. With 1 out, they only bring in 1 run. And James Outman has a terrible at-bat. I mean, it looks good. He's up 3-1, swings out a curve way down below his knees, all the way to like the right side of the plate. He swings at it, which was a problem for him all year. And then they said it was a fastball on TV, but I'm going to call it a sinker because it kind of dropped at the end and it looked like it had a sink action. But he strikes out on a sinker. And then I think that's when Dave Roberts brought up Colton Wong, and that ends the inning. Dodgers cannot just get the big hit tonight. And it sucks, man, because I'm not trying to make excuses, but it's an every year thing. Last year against the Padres, we couldn't bring in the runs. The year against the Braves, we couldn't bring in the runs. In 2021, in 2020, we obviously won the World Series, but if you go back to 19, couldn't bring in the runs. You go back to 18, yeah, we make the World Series, but we play a dominant Boston Red Sox team, but we struggle to bring in runs. And our pitching staff, I think it was Steve Pearce or some dude like that, hit a bomb to give the Red Sox the lead in one of those games. You go back, 2017, I'd rather not talk about. But anyway, you go back from years past, and especially from 21 to 22 to this year, the struggle's been to bring in the runs. And one thing that the Dodgers announce crew always mentions is when Mookie Betts is going and Freddie Freeman's going, the team's going. Well, Mookie Betts went 1 for like 5 tonight, or 1 for 4. Freddie Freeman gets a hit, but when those guys ain't producing, this team does not produce at all. I mean, it's obvious at this fucking point. In the regular season, when the Dodgers are on a losing spill, Mookie and Freddie ain't going. When they're on a winning spill, Mookie and Freddie are the hottest hitters in that lineup. And when it's in the postseason, when they're not doing anything, it's obvious. I think the announcer said that Mookie Betts was 3 for his last 39 in the postseason since the NLCS in 2021. He ended up getting a hit tonight, but he also got out a few times, so I think it's like 4 for 43 now. But it'd be 4 for 42, I think, actually. But that's just not good numbers. And obviously I go on Twitter or X or whatever the hell you want to call it, and I read some things, and there's some comments of saying, where's Bryce? Like, what happens if the Dodgers go out and sign Bryce Harper instead of Mookie Betts? But at the end of the day, we won a World Series in 2020 with Betts, so you just can't say that. And you gotta give the Diamondbacks their kudos. They bring in the first 3 runs in the first. Tommy Pham is absolutely being the hero for the Diamondbacks. Got 4 hits against the Dodgers in the regular season, and in the postseason has 5. He's been playing amazing. They do small ball things where they're bunting and moving the runners. And Zach Gallen, I said it on Saturday, he has torched the Dodgers. And I actually found out tonight, I didn't know this, but he's never won a game at Dodger Stadium. Well, Kelly and Gallen have both done something in the postseason when it matters, and that's win a game at Dodger Stadium. Dbacks just played amazing. Like I said, I don't really know who they have pitching for them on Wednesday. But Wednesday for the Dodgers, it's win or go home. And either on Wednesday, I'm going to be super surprised we got a win, or I'm going to just be heartbroken that we got swept. Because it is heartbreaking, man. Like I said, no matter what team you cheer for, if it's the Philadelphia Eagles when they lost last year in the Super Bowl, or you go to the Phillies who lose last year, or who the hell? Oh, the Miami Heat. I was gonna say who the hell did the Denver Nuggets beat this year? But as a Nuggets fan, I should know. But as the Heat, lose, or just any postseason, like when you lose, it hurts. And as fans, it hurts as well. And like I said, I'm very dedicated to this team. 162 games a year in the postseason, and all I've seen is them fail, and it sucks. It hurts, and it's very disappointing. And Dodgers got 3 games to win if they're going to win this series. Very unlikely, but it's maybe possible. Like, it's very unlikely, but there's a 25% possibility that it can happen. We got Lance Lynn going Wednesday. If we win that, we got Kersh, who got hit around in Game 1. And we got Bobby Miller back at Dodger Stadium. And we'll just see what happens, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Dodgers down 2-0. Dbacks. If there's any Dbacks fans in this section, watching this video, you guys are playing super freaking well. And congrats on taking Game 2. And that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. And until Wednesday, we'll see what the results will be.